Everybody, the star of the show from last night, that one, the star of the show. Oh, the color looks very nice. Awesome. This is a Logitech webcam that someone sent to me. I forget his name, but oh, baby, it looks good. We are definitely going to keep this thing rocking. Fantastic. Oh, wait. Uh oh. Uh oh. No sound. You hear me? Just checking. Just checking. Okay. Good. I'm not getting the yeah, I'm not getting a bar at the bottom. There's supposed to be a little green bar that comes up. Okay. I don't know why. YouTube. Terrible, terrible interface. Cuda. Cuda me. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. This is the latest Cuda from SCX. I had suggested this car literally a lifetime ago that they needed to do this. Yeah, it bothers me that it's not the little green thing at the bottom that lets me know that the sound is working. Okay, what do we have here? We have here exactly what I would have hoped for, a beautiful silver Cuda. This, hey, that's my line. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the terrible dad jokes, right? I'll do the terrible dad jokes tonight for everybody. How about that? So this car had been the next car. God, don't break the chassis. Um, that I had suggested while I was still at the company. They had done the Henri Chemin car, the yellow Le Mans qualifier car, and the blue and white modern kind of retro racer car had been a car that they had done. That car had not been the next car that I had suggested. This car had. This car is it was, I think, in a GT race of some sort. I think Sid Rust drove this car. It was exactly as you see it. It was a silver car with the number 30 on it. Hello, Graham from Central Pennsylvania. Um, this car has an FR42. This car should have lights. This car has a magnet, which we will dispatch post haste because, well, will we? Oh boy. Okay. This screw is stripped from the factory. That's not great. You never know what you're going to get out of China. Yeah, this screw is stripped. What do we do? What do we do? We improvise. Get off of there. Freaking magnets everywhere. Get out of here with your nonsense magnets. Get out of here. We improvise. We're going to open it up. Hey from York. Hey from Hughesville. I am due north of you. About what, 2 hours away? Basically. Been to York a bunch. Hello to my fellow Pennsylvanians out there. There's not many of us. Well, actually, there's a lot of us in the slot car world. Boy, the color looks nice. I am shocked. Shocked and amazed and appalled. All of us. I'm not appalled. Okay. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? We're checking out the inside of the Cuda to start. FR42, like I had said before, this motor is basically like a Scalextric motor, Carrera motor, with a different end bell. So It's about a 20K motor, about 20,000 RPM. I had spec'd this motor for Great Traditions when we did the first batch, and I was involved in getting the first batch of cars made for them for Great Traditions. The purple, the pink, the blah 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 blah. You all know. You've been around. You know the deal. This still has 9 to 27, I would assume. I doubt that's changed. Hey, Shane. Appreciate you stopping by, Shane. We're just checking out the newest Cuda. Finally got my hands on one. So here you go. There's the pod that comes in the car, and there you can see the gearing. These cars are nothing, John. I just started. Just tore the car apart. Gonna try to get the magnet out. I'm not gonna try. Gonna get it out. That damn thing out of there. If you like magnets, I'm sorry. I'm not picking on you. Oh, out, magnet, out. Is it gonna come out? Oh boy, baby. I don't know. It is really in there. It's partially stripped, which absolutely sucks. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes when their screws get stripped. That blows. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I don't think I can get that out of there. I don't think. Go back to the special stash back here of nonsense. Oh, wait. Is that another screwdriver? That another screwdriver. There's another screwdriver. Get something a little... Oh, no. No, this is definitely... This is stripped. So what can we do? Well, I do have other pods. Yeah, this is annoying. Yeah, it's stripped. That one screw is just... Actually, what I can do is I can pull the one side out and I can break it because I have other pods for cars that get out of there. We will get this Cuda on the road on the track in a second. How's everybody doing? Hello, Slot Car Fun. Guten Abend, fun, Pennsylvania. Wie geht's? Okay. Can he? Oh, wait. I can just... Yeah, there we go. Get out of there. Jeez, Louise. You ever think you're not wanted? Good. Go away. Out of my life. I'm glad you're doing well. Yeah, the head of this is completely stripped out. Whatever. It's out now. We're all good. Relax. It's okay. How's everybody doing tonight? I figured with a lot of the newer cars, what I'm going to do is, rather than do reviews, I'm just going to do, I think I mentioned this in the other stream the other night, just do quick hit kind of live stuff like this. So I can chat with folks, check in with the peeps, and get people's thoughts on stuff. And we can all kind of experience the car together. Yeah. Awesome. 28 people. Very cool. Thanks for showing up, everybody. All right. So, as you probably all know, SCX's pod system, it's not a lot of people really like the SCX pod system. I learned to live with it over the years. I don't love it, I'll be honest. They do it because it makes for very easy cars to assemble. because you can snap this car together. You can completely assemble this car from its parts very quickly. So what we're doing here is we're doing a quick rewrap from Cleveland. Currently working on what? Well, currently, hello, Bob. Thank you for working. Thank you for working on something. So I've done a rewrap here, as you hopefully can see, on tires. Oh, tires. Cool, cool, cool. So done the rewrap here. So we have one long braid rather than two short stubs. Ha ha ha. Everybody likes one long braid. So we pull the braid partially through, reseat it, and then we get much better electrical contact. Car will, in theory, well, I mean, it definitely will run better. I feel they definitely run smoother because they make much better contact. Hard to argue that they wouldn't, because you get the whole face of the braid all along the track. So there you go. Oh, there you can actually see it. I know it's a little hinky with this camera, but there you go. So there you go. 35 minutes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We got to get more likes, please. Thank you very much. Cuda's a great bit of balance. Yes, they have the car is actually quite well balanced. Um, when we were making the mold on the first ones, I had them add. I was in Spain at the time, and I had them add, I think, 2 millimeters down the middle of the car from the original. So from the original scale uh, CAD file that they had worked up. So technically, I Ninkoized the car. That means something to people of a certain age, people who know Ninko cars. Um, yeah, so it's a nice wide low car. I made sure that they made the car as low as possible, and frankly, since I was there, um, they were very happy to have my input on the car, because frankly, they have to go through a lot of projects, and any company basically does, and they really wanted to just get it over with. Quite frankly, how am I feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. Um, Willie, so yes. So there are people that are selling SCX currently. Great Traditions is selling them. LEB is now selling them again as well. So please uh, go visit LEB. I mean, there are other people that do sell them. Great Traditions are a friend of mine, and I have no problem recommending them. There may be other people, but GT and of course LEB are friends of mine, and that's who we support here, quite frankly. So there you go. LEB also has the compact cars back in stock. They have I believe, uh, all of the cars that SCX has in stock currently. LEB now have in stock as well. So please check them out. Cliff Manley says, I've tried so many ways to improve the system. Ninco one piece braid or SCX used to make racing braid. Yes, the SCX. Oh, I left yeah, I did. I left the other lights on. That's probably why the color looks so good. Oh, whatever. Very cool. Cliff says that, yeah, it takes a lot of fiddling, frankly, to get this system to work well. Once you get it kind of set, it actually does work quite well. Now, I'm not going to say that it's everybody's favorite system. It's not my favorite system either, but um, it's not it's not as bad. It's not really much of a selling point for people, frankly. It's not as bad as people say it is. People really gave it at the time a lot of negative BS that I think is completely undeserved. Frankly, because probably they were lazy and just didn't want to learn to tune the stuff, which um, support the slot car community. you go at you go on. You go, girl. You support anybody you like. We support here. I support the people that support me. That's how we do at Slot Car News. Yeah, doesn't really sound like we got a terribly healthy motor here. Maybe. Or am I making contact? Oh boy. Uh-oh. I think I might have over oiled this. Wait, what is okay? Interesting. Oh, there we go. This wasn't pushing the guy down enough. Yeah. It's picking up speed. It's breaking in a little bit. That sounds okay. It's not pulsing like the quality is going up. The speed is going up and down. That's good. That means the car is it's got a consistent motor, if nothing else. This car does have lights. Let's get this guy back together here and get him on the track. So LEB does have this car in stock now. They just got a shipment the other day. So please check them out. The Oxid. Yeah, I know, but it's fine. It's fine as it is. There we go. Couple turns in, one turn out. Okay. Okay, here we are. We got lights. Oh boy, do we have lights. Very good. Yeah, I didn't take the squiggles out yet. Sorry, guys. I can hear the tread on the tires. Scooping along. Scraping along. Sounds funny. This car looks really good. The headlights are nice and bright. I definitely need some weight. Could definitely use some NSR tires, some good sticky rubbers. These tires are a little hard. Let me hit them with some sandage here. Sandage, Sandorama. The lights on this are really good, really bright. SCX has always had great lights on cars. So like I said, LED's got this car in stock. Reasonable price on it. It's the MSRP, which I think is $75, $70. Not really sure. They have the special cars as well that were just released. So there we are. Yeah, there's a little more sanding needed on this one. That's definitely. Definitely. Absolutely. Got some better pickup now. Yeah, this needs some more. Some more. Need s'mores. Needs graham crackers and chocolate. Don't we all, though? Holy shit. Sandage. Come on. Driver detail on this guy is nice. It hasn't changed since the first releases. The only thing that's changed since the very first cars on this would be the motor. As I've said time after time, once companies get a mold done, it's basically done. The molds don't change from release to release unless there's something radically wrong. And then, frankly, they probably won't change it anyway then. There we go. Definitely. There we go. Okay. There we go. And also, when I go through the S's, it's definitely not slide. It's not kicking out quite as much, and definitely got more forward bite now that it's going around. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I go off because I'm going faster. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. I like it though. Of course I like it. It's a car I helped get made. Of course I'm gonna like it. Duh. We are gonna tape put a piece of tape across the pod on these to dampen it a little bit and get a little of the body roll out of it, but still leave a little bit of vibration in it. So you can you get faster lap times without magnets? Absolutely not. You get faster lap times with magnets. I don't care about fast lap times. I care about how the car performs, and I'm not in it for the lap times. I'm in it for the feel of the car, and I don't like how cars feel with magnets. Although I shouldn't say that. I do like how F1 cars feel with magnets. Like the Scale Auto, even the NSRs. Something about that feels appropriate with a Formula One car. The new Skeletor cars that have magnets in them. Of course, they all have magnets. That's not what I mean. Before someone jumps down my throat about misspeaking. Um, uh, Formula One cars for me seem like it's appropriate that they have magnets in them. I don't know why, but yeah, there we go. Less body roll, and the car is a lot more. Um, it's a lot more well behaved when it's going through the corners. So what did I do? What did you miss, John? Not much, John. We opened up. Can you hear me now? It'll take a second, probably. The car was all juiced up. Yes. Yeah. This is the wireless receiver, and power. It was dead. But the weird thing is, yes, I was giving you the silent treatment. The weird thing is, the battery just read completely full. So, yeah. Yeah. So, what did I do? I rewrapped the braid on this to give it better contact. So there you go. You can see that there. And I sanded the tires, and I took out the magnet. And then I also put, as you can see, there you go. You can see I put a strip of electrical tape from side to side across on the pod, and yeah, that helps dampen it. And immediately I could feel the car definitely didn't lean quite as much when it went into the corners then, and it definitely it has a lot less pod float, but just a little tiny bit of rock, and with just electrical tape, and I kind of just smooth it down, and it's, in my opinion, that's like probably the main. It's not even really well, I guess it is a tuning tip. It's probably just about the main thing that you should do um, with SCX cars. I've been trying to sell a bunch of SCX cars, and I feel like no one knows SCX anymore because they've been out of it for so long. But the cars are really, really nice. Yeah, they do take a little bit of tuning, and they're a little particular, let's say, um, about how you kind of run them and how you kind of have to tune them. And uh, there we go, a little bit of voodoo juice. Also, yeah, all of a sudden, there you go. And I flopped got the braid down, got curled the braid down just a little bit more. Put a little bit of voodoo juice, which is kind of like it's a contact oil or some nonsense like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, with just a little bit of tuning. Frankly, uh, the tape across the pod, that really, that did it. That tape across the pod and the sanding. I'm gonna do a little more sanding here. I know that's why you tune in, is to see me hold the car over sandpaper and wait for me to actually do something. But there we go. I'm happy that that leaving the other lights on means that this webcam really, because the colors look really good for this such a cheapo webcam. Uh, hey, whatever works, right? Yeah, these SCX tires are actually rubber tires, and there's a lot of meat on these tires, so you can sand the crap out of them, and there's a lot that you can get them really, really, really nice and sticky as far as I'm concerned, especially on polycar track. You can really get a nice grip level on polycar track with SCX rubber tires, and most rubber tires, quite frankly, except the Carrera stuff. Those tires are just not that grippy, unfortunately. Um, but the new Skelectric tires are actually really grippy. Pretty happy about that. Oh yeah, okay, okay. All right, everybody, calm down now. Yes, goes a little faster, and then I have to start to. Then I actually have to drive the damn thing. That's unfortunate. Might be catching on the fence, or just coming out because it's going fast. Or I'm really happy that we got this silver car. I've been thinking about this silver car for 10 years now, 12 years now, since we first did the Cudas. Um, this was the car that I wanted them to do next. After the Gurney cars, I wanted them to do something. I like the silver look of a car and the number 30. And I was really hoping that this car. Oh, the tires are also not quite seated. It could be a problem as well. I didn't even look at that. That one tire was like not really. It was like not really. It was stuck up. It was stuck up. It wouldn't talk to me. It's a little better. Not much, but a little. Tire chewing, yes. Could I put a digital chip in this car? Uh, no. For SCX, yes. The problem is, like, um, this is not an easy car to chip because of the SCX chassis has a what we used to call an analog chip in it that takes the power from the braid that I showed you before. It takes the power from the braid to the motor. So you have to bridge that somehow. And it's not an easy car to bridge to make, like for Carrera Digital or Skelectric Digital. In theory, you could, but it's going to be a hard thing to do. Um, these rubber tires are working well. It's deslotting in odd places. It might need some weight, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid it needs weight. Goodness. Weight? Can you believe it? I'm going to talk about weight though. Flatten the braid a little bit. See if that helps. Well, just what we've done so far, which is not much, which is the rewrap and the truing and removing the magnet. And it's a stock car and it's solid. It's a really decently performing car on my track. I'm really happy about that with very little done to it. I mean, you all have seen what I have done to it, which is essentially nothing. I just got this car a couple hours ago. Came in the UPS. It came by UPS. Did I miss anything here? Doesn't look like it. 52 people. Thanks for showing up, guys. Yes, the tires are ribbed. They have treads on them, is what I mean. So as it's kind of going around the track, boy, this is a lot stickier now that I've done some sanding. If I get all of the tire tread off of here, I bet it's even stickier. Yeah, so I mean, you've seen what I've done. Very little. And we have a really nice performing car right out of the box. LEB was nice enough to send me this car. Yes. So kind of since I've had the little squigglies in there, I kind of judge a car when it's going through there, kind of how much it kicks out when it's going through, because it's obviously being pulled through by the guide, and then how much the back end flips out, how much it kind of kicks. I can see how much the car is going to stick or not before it even gets really to a corner. And this car, now that the tires are sanded, just kind of follows the guide through. It's not like fishtailing all over the place. And again, without a magnet and with very little done to it. And now the nose is kind of just leading the way rather than the back end just kind of like kicking out. Now there, I overcooked it coming out because it was still accelerating. Amazing. Amazing for an SCX motor to still be accelerating, right? Am I right? Ha, ha. Anybody around back in the day would think that was really funny because they would never have expected the Spanish Inquisition. They would never have expected a Carrera. When do I start marketing a fancy tire truer? I mean, I do have a tire truer. I don't really use it much because I got to take the car apart and I got to put everything on it. And I have one that's not available anymore. But you just once you learn to do I mean, for this anyway, it's an easy, quick method to do this. It's not the best method, I'm not going to lie. But for me, just here by myself goofing around, it's enough just to use sandpaper. If I was serious about a car like the car that I raced for the BRM National Championship that I won, the team championship, I had that car, the rear axle, on a lathe, and I was doing micro polishing on it. And that car, that was no holds barred car. I was looking at the rear axle under a microscope to make sure that that where the bearings and the axle touched, that it was absolutely smooth. Looking through a microscope to see. I did about 3 days worth of work on just that, polishing various parts. So, for serious racing, I get serious. For nonsense in the basement, it's nonsense in the basement. Yeah, I think this is deslotting in kind of odd places. Um, and it's definitely because I have a little bit more power. Um, I think that I'm kind of used to, and I'm not really used to because this car's reasonably top heavy because it's got a uh, fairly large body. So, yeah, there we go. This is a beaut. This is a solid little guy. What does it need? It needs very little. It needs probably a little bit of weight. It definitely. Oh, what is this? Okay, so the chassis. Yeah, it needs some sanding. Okay, what does it need? It needs sanding around the edges of the chassis. So the chassis and the body aren't quite well. Not nail. I'm not a big fan of nail polish. Um, Sanding around the edges of the chassis, so this is not a tight snap fit in the from the chassis to the body. So there's room for the body and the chassis to kind of rattle, and there are no zero grips for the front of this. At least I don't think so. Um, any retailer I talk to about a bad paint job on a scale electric? Yes, the one you bought it from. That's who you talk to about any warranty issue. You talk to the person that you bought it from always for any retailer for any problem. Generally, best not to go to the manufacturer and do not go to a dealer that you did not buy it from. It is not their problem. If you bought it from somebody online who was nameless or whatever, or won't stand behind the product, then I don't know what to tell you. Always talk to the person you bought it from. Um, so what would I do to this next? And I probably will continue to work on this a little bit. Um, I will sand around the edges of the chassis. So where the body and the chassis meet, it should not be a tight snap fit, in my opinion. That's what I would do next on this car. I would um and then I that's probably all I would do, frankly. I mean, I'm never gonna run this competitively, so uh this is not like a car that I'm thinking, oh my god, I gotta, it's gotta. Oh, there's a little. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't race for the club anymore. Is what I'm trying to say. So I don't really need to. Yeah, I like the Cudas. The Cudas were the project that I got done with the SCX, and it's kind of the car that I'm known for, I guess you'd say. And it was a really, when the car was first released in the market, it was like a bomb going off. Like everyone wanted this car, and no one saw it coming, especially from SCX, because at the time SCX wasn't really doing. I mean, they weren't doing any Trans Am cars, and the fact that we came out with, multiple Cudas within a couple of years was a huge shock to people, and I was very proud of that. And it's a good car. Car runs really nicely. So there we are. Uh, what's up, Steve? Retracting Drexel float? Axle float? Um, Maybe axle float? It is an AAR CUDA. See? AAR. Yes. It was raced in real life by Sid Rust. It is an AAR CUDA. It's a raced AAR CUDA. There were only a few that were actually raced. Sweet Savage and Dan Gurney raced them for All American Racers, and then a lot of them were shipped overseas, and they were raced by Chrysler France in hill climbs, and yeah, they tried to qualify for one for Le Mans, but didn't really work. Hello, Daryl. Cheers. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. 75 people. Good Lord. Dremel float. Got it. Okay. Got it. No problem. Yes. So tonight, since there are some new people that just showed up, not on wood. Yeah, well, you got to tune it. This car would run pretty well on wood. This is an SCX Cuda that I just got from LEB. Um, it's one of the standard release cars. It's not a limited release car. There are a number of these cars in stock. I would highly recommend that you get one. People have been talking about the prices going way sky high on the street cars. Well, here's a race car. Buy the race car, regular price. And there you go. It's a beautiful car. And with just a little bit of tuning. Yeah, see, what it needs is I need a little bit of weight in the nose to keep the nose down. I think that's probably what's happening is oh yeah, there's very little guide going in there. Yeah, I need the nose down. So I definitely need waiting on the MRC 919 SRC probably. Me too. That's going to be an interesting car. Yeah, tuning. Yeah, Consco. It's the SCX Cuda. I've done a little bit on it. What I definitely need is nose weight because it's lifting out in kind of odd places. I think it might be catching on the tires down there. It's entirely possible, and it's definitely the nose is a little light. But with very little in the way of tuning, it's a very easy car to drive. Not quite as predictable. Yes, he was lifting out right there. It hesitated for a second. I'm thinking that it's just getting out of shape enough and then lifting on the exit of the corners. And it definitely has more grip coming out of the corners, which I think is contributing. Yeah, see there, it just lifted out. It's just a tiny little bit of weight in the nose, and that would definitely keep it down. What else are we going to talk about tonight? I forgot to bring it in. We're going to talk about an NSR. Stay right there. It's right over here in my room. I'm back. We're going to talk about this. NSR GT40. Fast. Blindingly fast. How's everybody doing tonight? 73 people. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for showing up. Really appreciate it for this midweek stream. Hump day. Of course, we're going to take out the magnet. Two rear body magnets. Or two rear body screws. Where's that other one? Get a little better purchase on the screw with this screwdriver. So this is the latest NSR GT40. It's the Golf car. Shorty screw in the front. Stunning in person. Got yours from LEB. There you go. No, sorry. U.S. distributor. There is no U.S. distributor for SCX. There are dealers for SCX. Thinks that the one limited release, it said no standard releases. This is a standard release car. There is the name that shall not be mentioned here because he's been rude to me recently. Not you, Gerald. There is no, I'm going to look in the camera and say this. There is no U.S. distributor for SCX. Anyone that tells you they are an exclusive distributor is lying. There we go. There are dealers for SCX. That's the truth. Not that people don't mind lying these days. People do. So what do we have here? We have standard Sidewinder, of course, NSR GT40. I can't get these wires to stick down. It's a little annoying. Anyway, Sidewinder. There you go. That's the, and what's this, a 21K? 21.5K Shark. Now the next question is, can you chip this? Probably you could. Difference between a dealer and a distributor. Distributor buys from the manufacturer and then only sells to dealers. That's the difference. A dealer can buy from a manufacturer and then sells basically to everybody. This isn't really a big deal in things like the RC business, but in the slot car business, it matters. Not really entirely sure why, but it does. They are distributing themselves. How do I know this? Because I was the one that worked on their pricing for them. Because, yes, exactly, no middleman. I was the one that gave them a dealer list. For about a year and a half, I was consulting for them, SCX that is. I worked on their pricing. I worked on the products that they should release. I worked with the first international sales manager that they had, who then left. And then they have this current international sales manager who is, who's there. And they decided that they weren't going to, I don't want to get too deeply into it. Suffice to say, I am intimately involved with what's going on with SCX in North America. There is no distributor. And that I'm sure people will say I'm wrong about, and they're lying. Gonna get a little bit of oil on this guy. This thing doesn't need much. The NSR cars basically come, as far as I know, oiled enough because they are assembled by folks in Italy who really know what they're doing. Sounds good. Sounds healthy. Sweet Savage. Yeah, his daughter is I'm Facebook friends with his daughter, and his adopted son, Gary, was the one that helped me. Gary was the one that helped me get the colors on the first Cudas that SCX did. And yeah, so I've known Gary Savage for a long time. And I haven't ever met Angela, his daughter. She seems very nice. Like I said, I'm Facebook friends with her. She is keeping the Swede Savage name alive and well. She's a great ambassador for her dad's legacy. Seems like a very nice person. So, what do we have here? We have a killer. We have an absolute killer. It's a killer. Every NSR car. Oh, baby. Yep. There's the speed. There's the speed that we all like. Fast, right out of the box. Nearly nothing done to it, except the magnet, of course. A little bit of tuning, but not much. The U.S. distributor, by the way, for NSR is Professor Motor. Professor Motor brings all of the cars in that get sold, with one exception, to to the U.S. And LEB, which is how I got this car, is the Canadian distributor. So, what do we know about these cars? Hello, MP. Thank you very much for showing up, Massimo. I really appreciate it. So, NSR GT40. These are a known commodity. There's a lot of new folks in the hobby these days. If you don't have an NSR GT40, you need one. Same thing with the slotted one, but tonight we're talking about the NSR GT40. This car is an absolute killer on the track. It is, as you see, very, very, very. It's an easy car to work on. It's a very high quality car. There's. I mean, this is a really great car, and it's very well mannered. It's quite low, and there's a lot of adjustment that you can do onto the car. With a car like this, with a car like a slotted car, you really, this is the hobby end of things, as you guys know. You're here, you know about the hobby end of things as opposed to like the toy kind of cars. We include the SCX Cuda in there as well. It's a toy. It's no problem with that. But this is, this and the slotted stuff and Scalato and Revo slot and, pick your poison. This is like the really, really high end. This is the really good stuff right here. And basic part of a collection, as far as I'm concerned, should be, a good solid slotted car that you love to drive and a good solid NSR car that is, it's a great car to start with because it's very easy to tune. It's very easy to drive, as you can see on my track. I mean, I just threw the thing on the track. It starts to go really, really well. And you just don't have to worry about, whether the money that you spent has been well spent. It's a nice model of the car. And it's a great performing model of the car. The only thing I might do, converted classic, unobtainium in 2 years. Yes, I mean, all of these certainly will. This will be unobtainium in a few years. Very soon. I mean, all these cars get made once. So the Cuda, the silver Cuda, it's available now. Folks always say, oh, I missed this or that car. Well, you guys are here now. If you like this car at all, you should buy it. Working on AAR transport. Awesome. That is fantastic. I love that idea. I wish Slot Company made the transporter. I really do. That would be fantastic. So let's put a strip of tape across this, shall we? Come walk with me, neighbors. And put a strip of tape across this just to dampen the pod, so it's got a little bit of rattle, not quite so much, or a little bit of vibration, not quite as much rattle. How about that? How about we describe it thusly? Sure, why not? See if we can not stab myself here. Didn't stab myself. Hot damn. That's cool. Don't like stabbing myself. A little bit too much tape on here. That's okay. So, what did I do? Put a strip of tape across the nose of the pod just to dampen it a little bit. Back these screws out just a little more. There. So now what we have is, and I know you guys aren't going to be able to see it, I'm sorry, but we have a pod now it doesn't have quite as much like floppy rattle. It's got kind of like a nice, it's flexy. A little bit of twist. What's going on there? Hey, Calvin. Yes, I agree, Calvin. It's sideways too. Exactly, Calvin. You're right. Okay, there we go. Yes. Yes. Already, I can tell it's got more grip. It's got better manners in the corners. It's not kicking out as much in the corners. And then at the beginning of the straightaway down there, I think because it doesn't have quite as much rattle, it's dampened a little bit. It just shoots right out of the corner. I'm overdriving it. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, so we got it here. And this without even any sanding yet on the tires, which I will do now. Again, what is this? This is a 220? I don't even know. Gongyu. Gongyu sandpaper. Interesting. Made in China, of course, sadly, where everything is made, unfortunately. Can we not make sandpaper in the... forget it. Yeah, of course, these tires sand easily because they're nice and soft. The gear sounds nice. Everything is nice and smooth in there. Oh boy, these tires like to be sanded. And once you do, you get really great bite. When it accelerates, the car goes forward immediately. It snaps forward. And then the tail sticks in when you're going around the corner. It doesn't, when you start sanding like that and you see an immediate reaction by the car when it's going around a corner, instead of the back end kicking out, it just kind of follows the guide around. That's what I can see it when it's going through the squiggles. It's just following the nose rather than fishtailing and slapping back and forth, almost like it has a magnet. I'm not saying it has a magnet again. Tire magnets. Yeah, it's a rocket ship. I mean, if you already have NSRs, you know this. And this is, I've never had this body. I've had the Mark IVs, the long tail one. I had one of them, and I think I traded it to a guy. I forget why. That was a bad choice on my part. And I hadn't ever had one of these bodies, but these are really nice. So I asked LEB, and they sent me one. I'll be taking pictures of this. Well, I already took pictures of this with the latest Slot It, and that was on the LEB page and on Home Racing World. And there you go. Yeah, yeah. This car is a rocket. Really nice performance. Like I said, if you don't have one of these cars yet, if you don't have an NSR and you've been wondering, okay, well, is the quality? Hey, Stuart, cheers! Thanks for showing up. Is the quality? They're not cheap cars, but the quality is definitely there, and you do get what you pay for, and these cars are worth it. Them, and like I said, there's a number of these cars. Um, hey, Rob, thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. CGY, yeah, I know that name. Thanks for showing up, Rob. I appreciate it. Hey, shift in the high. Yes, I took the magnets out. These I don't really do much with magnet cars. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, and you probably missed it because you weren't here. That's okay. Um, like Formula Ones, I think probably because the grip level is so high in real life on those cars, that to me seems like when I'm driving a Formula One car around and and still has a magnet, I think to myself, well, that kind of seems okay. No mags for you. Okay. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do or don't like them. And I personally don't like them. And I kind of joke about not liking them. And it's not that I think, people that race with them are dumb or whatever, but, I personally don't like them. And I don't think they do a lot for the hobby, quite frankly, because they encourage people to overdrive a car, especially kids, because they get a over optimistic view of how fast they can drive a car, and I don't like that, and I think it's a bad habit for kids to get into. Um, yes, yeah, I mean it's years ago when a Skelectric car, not this Skelectric car, but when a Skelectric car was $40, it was hard to argue that oh well, you can have a lot of fun with a just a plain old toy car, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, and it's just a toy, and you just enjoy it and just have fun with it. And then you think to yourself, well, a $70 car, $90 car, how much better can it be? Well, now that electric cars are 65, $70, and in some cases $75, you're getting into this kind of territory then, with the NSR stuff, with the slotted stuff, with the scale auto stuff. I don't mentioning all the hobby companies all every time, but now that the prices have gone up, it's more of a apples to apples comparison whether a car like this, whether an NSR car or like the other NSR, the McLaren, which this car is an absolute ripper, like I've said before, and then the Scale Auto, and then you have the Carrera, which is this is the one of the latest 488 Ferraris, and this car has the NSR rubber tires on it, the 21 by 10s, I think, are on the standard tire, and this car goes really, really well. It's a heavier car, and it's not an NSR car, it's not a Scale Auto car. The Scale Auto Viper, a beautiful, beautiful car. Again, you're looking at a little higher price tag on this car than a Skeletor car, only a little bit. This car goes really, really well. It's there's a lot of tuning you can do on these cars, and you get a lot of quality out of these performance cars at about the same price now. So anyway, um, yeah, I mean, I really wanted to talk about pretty much just these two cars tonight. Um, the Viper, yeah, the Keating Viper. Ben Keating is a great guy. I have a video that I had done an interview with Ben Keating, and it's here on the channel from the 6 hour at the Glen. In that video, I do an interview with Ben Keating because the Skelectric car, the jeez, and now I can't remember it. Well, it was the Ford GTE. The and that was the last project that I worked on for Skelectric, and we were talking with Ben to get the approvals, that sort of thing. And I was really happy to see that car come out. So I talked with Ben at the 6 hours at the Glen, and we talked a little bit about slot cars in the video. So it was cool to tape can raise the heat temp. Yeah, you mean on the motor? Yeah, I mean electric motors, once they get to a certain temperature, kind of don't tend to keep heating up. So yes, I mean they can, but I've raced 24-hour races and there hasn't been any issues with that, really. Um, yeah, so these are the two most recent cars that I've gotten, and boy, these cars are, for very different reasons, really kind of can't miss cars. If you're if you're if you're new to the hobby, well, if you're new to the hobby, frankly, with either of these cars, are great places to start. If you're new to the hobby and you like the SCX Cudas, this is the standard release Cuda that is out this year for SCX. I'm going to plug LEB because they sent me this car. They are one of their official dealers here in the U.S. that is selling these cars. LEB has these cars right now in stock. They are shipping right now. And so why am I suggesting get this car? Not just because it's any old release of a car, but because this car will be highly collectible, and it's worth being in your box. It's worth being on your shelf. It's worth being on your track. Absolutely, for sure. The cars run well. They, in my opinion, are a good representation of the Cuda. They're the best representation of the Cuda that you can buy currently in 1/32 scale. Did you get all that? Um, and the NSR GT40. This is a great place to start if you're new to the hobby, okay? Because it's a great performing car. It'll give you the tuning ideas. It'll get you into the NSR system, kind of the design aesthetic of the system, and it gets you a really, really great performing car right out of the box, just like the McLaren the 720S that I showed you there. It's for different classes. This would be a classic car. This personally, I would recommend this over the 917Ks for classic racing. This car is, in my opinion, much faster than the 917K, and it's a better place to start for a new racer. And for those reasons, certainly if you're new to the hobby, you want to start with this car. It is currently available from any NSR dealer. As I said, I got mine from LEB. And there you go, Cuda, because I do like me some Cuda. So, guys, I really appreciate everybody stopping by on a Wednesday evening for an hour. When will there be more 143rd coverage on my channel? Yes and no. SCX, there are SCX 143rd cars for sale now at LEB. I believe they have everything that SCX currently has in stock. I haven't asked LEB to send me any of the new cars. I am hoping to get more news from SCX. It's been difficult to. There's only really SCX and Carrera in this, right? In 143rd scale. If I'm missing one, let me know. But there's no D Nano or the Kyosho stuff anymore. Yes, there's a lot of people that would love some new 143rd stuff. I would as well. I can't report on stuff that isn't being made. There's only a little bit of Carrera stuff that's being made. There's some new SCX stuff that's being made. 500 of each color. The SCX is limited to 500 of each color. So that's for the limited release cars, correct? That's not for the standard release car. This car is a standard release car. This is not a limited release car. There are probably more than 500 of this car that got made. So no. AFX does not do news. I have asked AFX for news, and they said, "Oh, just look on our Facebook page." And they don't apparently have a dealer email list like I get from Skelectric, like I get from NSR, like I get from Slotted, like I get from a lot of different companies. So it's kind of hard to cover someone that doesn't want to be covered. Anyway, so there we are, folks. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I will be doing news again. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these live streams. No, look at your case. What case? Look at my case. Does it say 1 of 500? It doesn't. It doesn't. Do you know why? Because this is not a limited release car. It's a standard release car. AGM. Yes, AGM is an own brand. that is made by it's made by AGM. It's a Chinese company. That's who makes the Polycar track. That's who probably makes some of the other 1/43rd scale cars. No limited release. Show me one of 500, please. Can't do it. This is not a limited release car. This is a standard release car. Sorry. It's a standard release car. Not trying to be a jerk. It's a standard release car. In any case, cheers for showing up, everybody. I will be doing more of these live streams from time to time, especially when I get something new I can put on the track and we can talk about. We can all discuss here. I like the idea of when I get something new, throwing it on the track and getting people's thoughts and giving you my thoughts on the fly because, yeah, there you go. Support your local hobby shop, folks. And cheers. See you all again soon.